I live in Dubai. I'm a resident here, and I've helped hundreds and thousands of people move to Dubai, set up their companies, and manage their taxes. But here's what's actually at stake. The average person who moves here spends somewhere between 100 and 300 grand in the first year on the company, the visas, the rent up front, the schools, the lawyers. And most of them find out about reason number 5 after they've already landed, when their own country sends them a bill they never budgeted for and it's too late to sequence it properly. So here are 6 reasons why you shouldn't move to Dubai. Let's begin. The number 1 reason people move here is zero tax. That's the whole pitch. That's what every relocation channel sells. And if that's what your plan is built on, your plan is running on information that stopped being true in 2023, which matters because you're going to structure a company around it and you'll find out at your first filing whether you got it right. So in June 2023, the UAE introduced corporate tax. 9% on taxable profit above 375,000 dirhams, which is about 102,000 US dollars. There's also 5% VAT, which has been here since 2018 and which most people forget entirely until they're registering. And there are free zone rules where you can still get to 0 on qualifying income, but the qualifying income definitions are narrow, and I see people assume they qualify when they absolutely do not, usually because they're selling services to mainland UAE clients. Now, personal income tax is still 0. That part is real. No income tax, no capital gains tax, no inheritance tax on the personal side. So on a business clearing $1 million in profit, you're looking at roughly 90 grand a year to the UAE, and then everything you pay yourself after that is yours. Compare that to Canada, where you're paying corporate tax and then getting taxed again on the dividend, and you're still massively ahead. But it's 9%, not 0, and the direction is up, not down. So if you're moving here because somebody showed you a 2019 pitch deck, you're planning around a number that no longer exists, and you should be running your projections at 9% and being pleasantly surprised. Second reason, you save the tax, and then this city takes a huge chunk of it straight back, and it happens in the first 30 days before you've earned a single dirham here. This is the one that catches people who did the tax math and never did the living math. Rents in Dubai are up enormously since 2021. Not a bit, enormously. And in the good communities, they're up 50 to 70%. But the number isn't the problem. The payment structure is the problem. Landlords here want the year up front, in one cheque or 2. So a decent villa in a family community, and you're writing a cheque for 100 to 150,000 US dollars before you have furniture. That money is gone out of your account on day 1. Then schools. A good international school in Dubai runs you 15 to 25,000 US dollars per child per year, and the good ones have waiting lists. So you're either paying for the school you can get into or you're commuting 40 minutes each way. 2 kids, and that's 50 grand a year before anything else. Then mandatory health insurance for every family member, the DIWA deposit, 2 cars because this city is not walkable in July, and the license conversion. So run it honestly. Family of 4, decent villa, 2 kids in school, and you're at 250 to 300 grand a year in pure cost of living, which is fine if your business clears $500,000 or more in profit because you're saving more than that in tax on day 1. If you're personally making 250 grand a year, the tax saving does not cover the lifestyle delta, and you will be poorer here with a nicer view. So if you're a wealthy business owner clearing well over $500,000, Dubai pays for itself in year 1. If you're not there yet, look at Cyprus, look at Panama, look at Georgia, because those get you most of the tax benefit at 1/3 of the burn rate. Third reason, and this is the one that catches Canadians, Brits, and Australians hardest, because you've had something your whole life that you've never once had to think about. What's at stake is simple. If the thing your residency hangs on disappears, you don't get years to sort it out. You get weeks. Really quick. If you're looking to lower your taxes, increase your freedom, and get the best possible options for residency and citizenship around the world, I have launched the Wealthy Expat Private Mastermind, a free private group that you can join with the link in the description. So, your residency here is attached to something. Your company, your employer, or your property. Close the company, lose the job, and the visa gets canceled. And depending on the visa type, you have somewhere between 30 days and 6 months to fix it or leave. Your bank account can be frozen while that plays out because the account was opened against that visa. And there's no unemployment benefit. There's no public health care for you. It's private insurance or you pay cash. There's no deposit protection scheme like you're used to at home. Debt is treated far more seriously here than it is in the West, and an unpaid loan or a bounced cheque can turn into a travel ban, which means you are physically not leaving until it's settled. So everything your government used to hand you for free, you now buy, and you buy it out of the money you saved on tax. That's the trade. And I'd say it's a good trade because I'd rather choose my own hospital than wait 11 months for a scan. But if the thing you actually want is a country that catches you when you fall, do not move here. This place is built for people who'd rather buy their own net. And if that's not you, you will be miserable within a year. Fourth reason, and this one I'd tell my own friends, the most popular way people get residency here is by buying property. And the way it's normally done is the way I'd most strongly advise against. Because you're not risking a fee, you're risking $500,000 in something you might not be able to sell. The golden visa through real estate is 2 million dirhams, roughly 545,000 US dollars, and that gets you 10 years. Fine. But then the agent walks you into off-plan, because off-plan is where the commission is. And off-plan means you're paying installments on a building that does not exist yet. I have seen people lose $200,000 on developments that were never completed. Delays of 2 and 3 years on off-plan here are not unusual. They're normal. And the yields you're quoted are gross. Somebody tells you 8%, and then there's the 4% Dubai Land Department transfer fee, the agency fee, the annual service charges, which in some towers are brutal, and the void periods. Your real number is a lot closer to 5%. Then, when you go to sell into a soft market, you're competing against the developer who is selling the identical unit next door with a payment plan you can't match. So, buy property in Dubai because you want to live in it at a price you'd pay if the visa didn't exist. If it's purely the residency you want, there are other routes to it that don't require you to park 545 grand in a single illiquid asset in a single city. And never, ever buy off-plan for a visa. Be very careful with this one. Fifth reason, and this is the one people find out too late. Everybody plans the arrival and nobody plans the departure, and your home country gets to send you one final bill on the way out. If you're Canadian, there's a departure tax. The day you cease to be a resident, the government treats you as if you sold everything you own at market value and taxes the gain. So your portfolio, your crypto, your private company shares, all of it gets a deemed sale you never made. Australia does something very similar. In the UK, you've got the temporary non-residence rules. So if you come back inside 5 years, the gains you realized while you were away follow you home. And Canada doesn't just take your word for it either. Keep the house, keep the health card, keep the driver's license, keep the spouse in the country, and the CRA can decide you never actually left 7 years later with penalties. And if you're American, I have to say this plainly because a lot of you are watching. Moving to Dubai does not lower your US tax bill. You're taxed on worldwide income as a citizen no matter where you sleep. You get the foreign earned income exclusion, which is useful and small. Everything else stays. The only thing that ends it is renouncing. And if you're above the asset thresholds, there's an exit tax waiting there too. So the sequence matters more than the destination. When you sell, what year you break residency, and what you leave behind. Get that order wrong and you'll hand over more on the way out than Dubai will save you in your first 3 years here. Last reason, and it's the one nobody makes a video about because there's no number attached to it. Whatever you build in Dubai, you're renting, including the life. There is no realistic path to citizenship here. Your kids born in Dubai do not become Emirati. 25 years of residency, taxes paid, business built, and you're still on a visa that gets renewed. So the thing you were trying to buy, permanence for your family, isn't on sale in this country at any price. And the population turns over constantly. Your friends leave every 2 to 3 years. Your wife's entire social circle rebuilds itself twice a decade, and your kid's best friend moves to Singapore in year 2. That's not a complaint. That's the structure of the place. So here's how I actually use Dubai, and how my clients who get this right use it. Dubai is the base. It's where you live, where the company is, where the tax bill goes to 0 on the personal side. And then you hold a second citizenship somewhere else, Caribbean, European, wherever fits your budget, so that your children inherit something that doesn't need renewing. Dubai for the money and the lifestyle, a passport somewhere else for the permanence. If you only do the first half, you've built a very comfortable life that expires with your visa. And I said it in this video, if you're American, moving to Dubai does not lower your tax bill by $1. You're taxed on worldwide income wherever you sleep. So a lot of you are watching this thinking none of it applies to you, and that's the wrong conclusion, because the exit exists for Americans too. It's just a completely different move with a completely different order of operations. I made a full video on that. 5 reasons to get out of the United States. what the exit tax actually costs you at each asset level, and the one step that has to happen first, or none of the rest of it saves you anything. America is dying, and the people who leave early are paying a fraction of what the people who leave late will pay. Check it out right here.